Now, let me start with an ugly truth. Nobody likes to post about this on LinkedIn. See, not every doctor wins with digital marketing. In fact, most of them get burned, and that too badly. But they never like to talk about it because why would they, right? They're the expert, the specialist, the one who is supposed to have it all figured out, right? So when leads ghost, when slots remain empty, when 5 lakh rupee ad campaigns bring in zero procedures, you don't lose money, you lose confidence and you start questioning your decisions, right? Maybe you are not made for this, maybe patients just don't respond to marketing anymore. These are the limiting beliefs that start capturing your brain. And the worst part, everyone keeps telling you try this new reel, try to boost more, try this new fancy agency, but now you're tired. You've tried all of this. So let me tell you a story about a surgeon who said these exact words to me. Dr. Rush, I think marketing is a scam, man. I mean, he wasn't just skeptical, he was actually angry. He sat across to me, arms crossed, voice cold, no small talk, no hi or hello. He just pulled out a folder and said 14 lakhs 28,000. That's what he had wasted on agencies and ads in the last 9 months alone. He wasn't being dramatic at all, he had actual receipts. He had ad reports, Google Sheets, chat logs, invoice breakdowns. You ask for anything and he had that ready in that folder. And then he looked at me dead in the eye and said, "Don't try to pitch me anything. I have been fooled 4 times and you're not the first expert I've met. Just tell me one thing. Are you two going to waste my time and money?" And I didn't flinch. I had seen this pain before thousands of times in my career. I have lived it in my early agency days watching brilliant doctors get crushed by agencies who treated them like just another retainer, not a responsibility. So I said, "Tell me your story," and I just listened to him. And when he spoke, it all became clear. First agency just posted generic designs with quotes like "glow with confidence." The second agency ran meta ads but never had any follow-up sequences. The leads did come in, but nobody tried even calling them and converting. The third agency blamed his clinic staff entirely, but didn't give them any solutions. They said that you can't convert and that's why they're not working for you and moved on. The fourth agency actually took his money and disappeared after the third week. But you know what hurt him the most? Not the upward of 14 lakhs that he had burned, but it was the silence on his phone, the empty calendar, the shame he felt walking into the OPD knowing his chairs were empty, but his competition was full. And all just because he was overpromised and underdelivered. That silence, it echoes loud when you have given everything and you still feel invisible, right? But I told him upfront, if you're looking for another agency, I'm not it. But if you are willing to fix the real problem, I'll show you exactly how. And here is what we've uncovered. And I want every doctor watching this to ask yourself the same thing. Is this happening in your clinic too? The first problem that he had was his ads sounded like someone else completely. His creatives were fine and on point, but they never sounded like him. They simply used stock images, robotic texts, words like premium, cutting edge, best results, but never a single word sounded like the way he talked to patients in OPD. And if your ads don't feel like you, patients simply scroll past you, right? Because trust isn't built through filters and forms. It's built through familiarity. The second problem might be that your team is simply winging it. I mean, there's receptionists never knew how to handle objections. Nobody has a proper follow-up tracker. The leads were being called once and forgotten. And that's not a clinic problem, that's a sales system problem. No matter how good your procedure is, if your front desk can't build trust in that first 30 seconds, the lead is gone forever. The third problem that he had was that they were talking too soon and following up too late. He had 900 plus leads sitting idle on a dusty Excel sheet. No WhatsApp follow-ups, no video nurturing, no emotional re-engagement. He wasn't just leaking leads. He was bleeding slowly and silently. The fourth problem that he had was that he was playing defensive. He was not building a system. He was waiting for agencies to fix things instead of installing proper systems that run even when he's in surgery. He thought there was some magic pill out there that if he swallows, he's going to start getting in more patients. Because when you're not in control of your messaging, of your journey, of your sales flow, of your team communications, you're not running a business, you're simply reacting to chaos. And by the end of that session, he looked at me and said, For the first time, I feel like someone isn't trying to sell me something, someone is trying to understand me and help me in fixing what's going wrong. And that right there is when the comeback begins. Not with ads, not with some new hack, not even with the special authority accelerator, but with clarity. I didn't show him any fancy model. I didn't talk about fancy CPCs, CTRs, or some new funnels. I simply asked him, if we were to rebuild your entire clinic growth system from scratch, what would you like to feel it like? He paused for a while and then said something that most doctors never admit. He wanted his systems to be peaceful, predictable, and he just wanted to focus on surgeries and know that his calendar was full. And that one line changed everything for him. Because here's the truth, most doctors don't want more leads. They simply want freedom from chaos while their clinic grows. And here's what we built together. The first thing that we did was a positioning reset. We rewrote all of his messaging and we changed it from treatments to transformations. Instead of talking about what he does, we made his marketing talk about what the patient becomes. This wasn't about new SEO tricks, it was about soul, about real conversations, real clarity, and real connections. See, the second thing that we did for him was we installed a sales intelligence for the front desk staff. We trained his receptionist not just on what to say, but on how to think and how to respond. They started handling objections, qualifying leads, and booking consults like a pro in sales. Because a front desk isn't just admin anymore, it's 2025. The front desk is your revenue catalyst. The third thing that we fixed was that we installed a follow-up systems that feel human. We then set up WhatsApp automations, but that was combined with emotions. There were real stories and doctor short videos. They were simply warm nudges that made the leads feel seen. And the result, the leads that earlier used to ghost their front desk started saying thank you for checking in on them. Right? That is how good the follow-up system was. And finally, we installed automation with accountability. We plugged in automations, but we made sure that humans always led the trust. The AI filtered the junk, the CRM tracked every conversation, and the doctor simply got a weekly dashboard showing real metrics that actually matter, like cost per consult, follow-up time on average conversion percentage. And now that all the systems were installed, he was not guessing anymore, he was leading with confidence. And by the end of first month, his front desk had booked 38 consults and the cost per appointment was just 453 rupees. He closed 7.2 lakhs in actual revenue, not leads, not promises, not future surgeries. That was cash collected that very month. And for the first time in 9 months, he wasn't checking his ad manager with anxiety. He was not questioning his staff every evening, just getting a dull response. He was now calm, confident, and he was leading with clarity. Not because of the increased leads, man, not because of increased patient acquisition, but because he now had control. And when you have control, your clinic stops feeling like a gamble and starts running like a business. And now that his systems were stable, we helped him step into authority marketing. We're not talking about daily dancing reels or trending audios. We're talking about videos that shows what he believes in. Scripts that rewires his patients' fears into trust. A digital presence that feels like a leader, not a service provider. He started speaking on camera not just like an actor, but like a real surgeon. And then we edited it with precision, emotion, and clarity. And guess what? His patient quality completely shifted. Suddenly, people were not price shopping with him anymore. They were saying things like, "Doctor, I saw your video. I feel like you understood exactly how I've been feeling. And that is why I trust you with my health." And that is the magic of authority. It does not shout louder. It simply connects deeper and connects better. And then came the moment that made him smile for the very first time in any of our calls. I mean, he was the typical uncle of India, right? The Khadus kind. This month, his clinic had crossed 30 lakhs cash collected. Not from any viral reels, not from luck, but from the re-engaged leads, the new high-intent bookings, the referral chains that were triggered by the trust that we were able to build, and the patients who actually completed their surgeries and brought in their cousins next week because that's how good he gave them an experience of. And he wasn't just busy, he now felt valued. And here is the part that I want you to hear. He told me it's not about the 30 lakhs in revenue. It's that for the very first time, he was not scared of scaling more with an agency, and that was real success. Not more money, but more stability, more control, and more peace. And then he said something that I'll never forget. He told me, Dr. Arsh, digital marketing isn't a scam. It just needs a doctor's brain, not an agency's buzzwords. Now you might be thinking, that's right, Dr. Arsh, but my clinic is different now. Yes, every clinic is different. But the principles that change this story are the same ones that apply to every specialist clinic that I've ever talked to. And now I've talked to more than 5,000 such specialist clinics, and here is exactly what he learned and what you can implement too. First thing is that trust can never be outsourced. If your marketing does not sound like you, it'll never work for you. No agency, no matter how skilled they are, can ever speak your truth better than you. So stop handing over the mic and start shaping the message so that you can build the trust that you want to build. The second thing that you could do is that your team could either grow with you or leak your revenues, right? It's not about how loyal your front desk is. It's about how skilled they are in conversations that actually convert, because most leads never disappear. They die in the silence between WhatsApp messages and missed calls. So train your team like you train your surgical assistants, with scripts, proper structure, and proper feedback. Thirdly, lead quantity is irrelevant without quality. More leads won't save you, but better systems will definitely save you. The systems that qualify, the systems that follow up emotionally, the systems that filter the junk out, the systems that track real metrics and not vanity numbers. And this is where most clinics lose the game without even realizing it. See, you don't need more noise, you just need a proper narrative. When patients see 15 ads a day, what makes them choose you? It's not the price, it's not the filters, it's not how pretty your ad looks. It's the clarity, the story, the emotion, and the trust that you're able to build in that ad. And that is when patients respond. That is exactly what this doctor had rebuilt from the ground up with us. And finally, now let me give you what you can do right now without hiring any agency. If you're watching this and feeling overwhelmed by all the information, don't. Here is what I want you to do next. The first step should be that you should audit your messaging, go through your last 5 ads or your posts, no matter you're doing it yourself or you have an agency doing it. Just go through these and ask yourself, would my best patients ever relate to this? And the next question that you should ask is, does this sound like me or like this agency that's running my ads? If not, it's now time to rewrite this, even if it means fewer posts. Let's make them real, man. The second step that I want you to do is you must re-engage your old leads. Just open your CRM or your WhatsApp, take any 10 leads who have ghosted you but initially showed interest, and then send them a short video. Hi, this is Dr. Dash. I just wanted to check in if you're still struggling with Dash and haven't found a solution yet. I'm here whenever you're ready. Never put any pressure though, just whenever they want it. Simple, warm, and real. And now you'll be surprised with the reply rates over here, right? Third step should be you should now train your team for 15 minutes every single week. Choose one objection, one phone call, maybe one response script every week. Role play it, practice it, because small and consistent training beats those fancy once a year workshops every single time, right? The final step that you should take is if you should stop relying on hope and start building systems. Write down this one sentence and stick it on your clinic wall. Hope is not a strategy. Systems will scale your story. Everything changes when you stop chasing leads and start attracting trust. The doctor in the story didn't just fix his marketing. He reclaimed his peace, he rebuilt his confidence, and most importantly, he now owns his calendar instead of simply reacting to it. This is proof that when you shift the way your marketing agency thinks and you think, your clinic shifts too.